welcome to Mayor Science. The goal of the How to Use a Secchi Stick video is to figure out how to actually use a Secchi Stick to determine the amount of algae biomass in an algae culture. So you have created these algae cultures, and we're going to be looking at the growth rate of the algae over the next couple of days, and we need to be able to have a way to measure the growth rate, and that's where the Secchi Stick comes into play. So there are several materials you're going to need. You're going to need a skirted falcon tube. So the falcon tube will take 50 milliliters. You can kind of see it upside down here. And the nice thing about this is it's got this flat bottom. So when you flip it over, you can actually just lay it on your table. This is a Secchi stick right here. So you can see that we've got a target down at the bottom, and then we've got all these measurements here. And then finally, you're going to need a graduated cylinder. So you're going to measure 50 milliliters, and your graduated cylinders measure 50 milliliters exactly. 50 milliliters from your algae culture. You're going to pour that into your skirted falcon tube, and then you are ready to use the Secchi stick to make your measurements. This is a Secchi stick. A Secchi stick is a measurement tool that you can use to figure out how much algae you actually have in your culture. Remember, your culture of algae is a mixture of the media and the actual algae cells. So the way the Secchi stick works is you're looking at this target down at the bottom, this black and white target. And so you're going to take the Secchi stick, and you've got your skirted falcon tube that you've already measured 50 milliliters of your algae culture and poured it in here. So you're going to go ahead and take that Secchi stick, and you're going to put it into the liquid and go down really slowly, and you're going to stop as soon as you can't see that black and white target anymore. So I can't see it, so I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to measure right where the liquid stops on the Secchi stick. So that's a measurement of 55, and I'm going to go ahead and record that into my data table. So I have used my Secchi stick to measure 50 milliliters in my culture, and the number I came up with was 55. So I'm going to go ahead and fill out my data table. So I know today is the 10th, and I added 50 milliliters of algae to the flask. So I had 50 milliliters of algae and 50 milliliters of the media. My Secchi stick reading was 55. So now I need to actually figure out, what does that reading mean? How much algae do I actually have? Again, how much biomass of algae do I have in my flask? So I'm going to do this by using the algae biomass estimator on the next slide. So I know my number is 55. I'm going to go to the next slide, and I'm going to look under the Secchi stick reading for 55. So I don't see it in this column, and I'm going to go all the way down until I see it over here. So I don't see 55. I see 50 and I see 65. So I know I'm partway between those two. So 50 is 90. And 65 is 30. So there's 60 in between, and I've got 15 there. So that would mean that 90 plus about 20 or so. So my number would be 110. So that means the mass of the algae is 110 milligrams per liter. Just to put that in perspective, 110 milligrams. So that is 1 milligram. There's 1,000 milligrams in a gram. A penny actually weighs 2.5 grams. So that would be 2,500 milligrams. So I don't have very much algae is what that means right now. So I'm at 110. So I need to record that back here. I'm going to pop over here. I'm going to record that. So it's 110 milligrams per liter. And then I'm ready to go on and continue with my with recording my data. Do notice that you need to record the measurements from your team data table into the class data table. This is a live link that's going to put you right into the class data table. Once you're in the class data table, you are going to notice there are a couple of tabs. The first tab is just your data, and then the second tab is day one photos. So you should be putting in photos for day one, and then you should be putting in photos for day 4. I would definitely suggest that you take a photo with a white background. So not the classroom as a background, but a white background. So we can kind of make sure that we have consistent backgrounds to see how much green there is.